Hello Year 8. Today we're going to be multiplying and dividing algebraic fractions. So again, adding and subtracting have different rules to multiplying and dividing. When we were adding and subtracting, we had to have a common denominator first, and then we were able to put the fractions together. However, multiplying and dividing, we do not need a common denominator. What we want to do is we want to simplify the fractions down as much as we possibly can, and that means that we look to see if there's things that we can cancel from the top and the bottom, and then once we've simplified them down as much as we can, then we multiply the tops together and the bottoms together to see what is left. Okay, so let's do that with example number 1. First thing I want to do when I'm multiplying these fractions is I want to look to see if there's anything I can cancel. So often we look on the diagonals. So I would look at the 5x and the 4x. So 5 and 4, I can't cancel those. There's nothing in common. There's no common factor to cancel there. But letters can be cancelled. So the x can cancel the x. Checking the 3 and the 7, there's nothing in there to cancel. So once I've done my little bit of cancelling, I'm now going to multiply the tops together. 5 times 3 is 15. And multiply the bottoms together to get 7 times 4, which is 28. To get full marks on a question like this, you need to show that you have cancelled things off as much as possible. However, you can check on your calculator to see if your answer is as simplified as possible. So if I type in 15 over 28, I press equals, it didn't simplify it down anymore. If it did simplify it down, that would mean that I probably should go back and look for more cancelling that I should have done from the beginning. Okay, looking at question 2. There's 3 fractions here, but the process still works. You can cancel anywhere on the top with anywhere on the bottom. So, for example, I could cancel the p with the p all the way down the other end. The numbers, this 6 that is here, it could go with either the 2 or the 3. So let's put it with the 2. If I put the 6 with the 2, I could divide both of those numbers by 2, which would give me 3 and a 1. So again, you can use your calculator to help you with that. I'm trying to simplify the 2 over the 6, so I go 2 over 6, and it gives me the 1 that goes to the top and the 3 down the bottom. So I've cancelled that down a bit. But now you can see there's a 3 on the bottom and a 3 on the top down there. So I can cancel even further like that. Okay, now technically they do leave 1s when that happens, so you can put 1s here. All right, the 7, I can't see anything there that the 7 or the 4 is going to cancel with, so we are ready to multiply what is left. Across the top, we have 1 times 1, which is 1, and we have the letter P. So it would be 1p, or better still, just P on the top. On the bottom, we have 1 times 7, which is 7, times 4 is 28. So you could just put that in calculator, 1 times 7 times 4, which gives you the 28. And that's it. We're done. Okay, so question 1 and 2 are multiplying. Question 3 and 4 are division. Now, to help you remember what to do for division, I have a little saying which goes like this. Leave, kiss, and flip. Okay, so you don't ever actually do divide. I never want to see people trying to go 4 divided by 3, trying to divide things out like that. So we actually turn division questions into multiplication questions by leaving the first fraction. Leaving means writing it down exactly the same. Kiss means you take your divide sign and you turn it into a times sign, which looks like a kiss on a love letter kind of thing. And then flip means you turn the second fraction upside down to be 3p on the top and 2m on the bottom. So leave, kiss, flip is a way to remember it. The flip is technically called a reciprocal. So turning a fraction upside down like that is called taking the reciprocal, but that's a much bigger word to remember. Okay, now that it's a multiplication, we want to do it just like we did in questions 1 and 2, where we're looking for things to cancel. So I can cancel the m with the m. I can also look at the 2 and the 4 here, and you could use your calculator if you like. You can type in 4 over 2. Oh, that cancels beautifully. So the 2 cancels off, and that leaves a 2 there. The 7 and the 3, they're not going to cancel. So that's all the cancelling we can do, and now we're going to multiply what's left. 2 times 3 gives 6p, and on the bottom we have just that 7 left, so 6p over 7 for the answer. Let's try another one. Question 4. We see the divide sign, so we leave the first fraction, we turn it to a times, which is the kiss, and then we flip the last fraction to put the 6 on the top and the x on the bottom. Okay, then we can cancel. We can cancel the x with the x, and the numbers, the 6 and the 9. So the 6 is on top, so if we put 6 on top and 9 on the bottom, it's going to simplify to be a 2 and a 3. We're dividing both of them by 3 there. Okay, that's all the cancelling we can do. So what's left is a 2 and a y on the top. Always put the number first, 2y, and on the bottom we just have a 3. Question 5, more dividing. So we're going to leave the first fraction, kiss, which means turn it into a times, and flip or take the reciprocal of the last fraction. A and the b, they're not going to cancel because they're different. 3, there's no number really to work with the 3, but how about the 5 and the 10? Yes, the 5 and 10 is going to work. You could type in the calculator 5 over 10 and you would get a 1 and a 2. Okay, timesing what's left. 3 times 1 is 3 and the a. On the bottom we have the 2 and the b, and that's it. Question 6. We have 3 fractions there and one of them is a divide. So the multiplying fractions, they're going to stay the same. We're going to have 3x over 8 times 2y over 15. So they're the leave part. But then to do the divide, we need to do the kiss and flip. We just do it with that last fraction. Turn the divide into a times and flip the last fraction. Okay, now that we're multiplying 3 fractions, we can cancel anywhere from the top with anywhere on the bottom. So what have we got? Y can cancel y. We could do the 8, could go with the 4. It could go with the 2, but it would simplify more with the 4. So if we divide by 4, we would get a 1 here and a 2 there. But then I have 2's here, so the 2's will cancel off as well. So they disappear all down to 1's. That just leaves the 3 and the 15, which also simplify. You can check it out in your calculator. You have 3 over 15, and we get a 1 and a 5. Okay, so please use your calculator if you're unsure about what you can divide by and how to cancel. So looking across the top of those fractions, I have 1 times 1 times 1, which is just a 1, but I do still have an x, so we're going to have an x on the top, and on the bottom, 1 times 5, which is 5. Questions 7 and 8. Multiplying 3 fractions in question 7. So they're already all multiplication signs, so we're going to go straight to trying to cancel things off. We can cancel x with an x. The 11 and the 22, we can divide by 11 there and get a 2 and a 1. The 6 and the 12, we can divide by 6 to get a 1 and a 2. Okay, well that pretty much took care of everything. All that's left on the top is 1 times 1, which is 1, and on the bottom 2 times 2, which is 4. Question 8. We are going to have to change this divide into a times by doing the leave, kiss, flip. So we leave the first two fractions because they're just normal multiplication ones. And then we turn the divide to a times and flip the last fraction upside down. And then we cancel. So we can cancel m with m. We could do the 5 and the 10 together. Dividing by 5, we get 1 and 2. We could do the 3 and the 12 together. Dividing by 3, we get 1 and 4. Now, we can actually do the 2 and the 4 too, but let's pretend that we forget about that one, because I want to show you that you can still simplify your final answer at the end if you miss one. So if I miss that last bit of cancelling and I times what's left, I go 1 times 2 is 2, and on the bottom 1 times 4 is 4. But when you look at that, you go, oh, I've got some even numbers there that I can cancel out further. Or you can check your answer by typing in your calculator and go, oh, that simplifies down even more. So you just go equals a half. Okay, so try to always cancel as much as you can at the top, but if you do miss one, it is possible to still simplify your final answer at the end. Okay, so that brings you to workbook time, where you're doing pages 19 to 21.